Damn, fucked that up, didn't I? Oh well, we're starting early. So, back to here. There we go. Alright, team. Welcome back to Big Boys Boxing for another edition of the live. So, we had a pretty decent heavyweight weekend. And we had a couple of upsets. One major upset and one not so major, but first round knockout. So, quickly get back here. Do a sound check. Upset. Yep, we got that sorted. Alright, so we'll start at the bottom. We started with Hughie Fury and Pavel Sawa. So we saw Hughie Fury trying to throw his right hand a little heavier, and he was also a bit easier to hit because of this. Pavel Sawa landed some decent shots in the second round, but ended up getting stopped in the third. It was what it was, so maybe some improvement from Hughie Fury, but we will be able to see when he steps in the ring against somebody a bit higher level than Pavel Sawa. The next one was a slight upset. Carlos Negron beats Robert Alfonso in the first round via KO. I haven't seen the fight. I'd like to. If anyone has any links to see that fight at all, let us know. Carlos Negron, though, I was saying prior that this is a bit of a gauge fight for Robert Alfonso. He'd fought nobody. And Carlos Negron, most would know him from getting beaten down by Dominic Brazil. But Carlos Negron was actually landing a few punches in that fight too, and don't take my word for it, but I'm pretty sure Carlos Negron was actually an Olympian as well. So he's no bum, but he found out an unbeaten prospect who'd been padding his record. Down goes Robert Alfonso. The next one on the card that I was interested in was kind of a gauge fight for me for Frank Sanchez against Joey Deweyko. But I was also saying Robert Alfonso, being 6'4", should be able to use his height and reach and box his way to a victory against Joey Deweyko if he's any good. Now, in the first couple of rounds, Frank Sanchez was engaging a bit with Joey Deweyko, and he was getting tagged with counters now and then. And that's all Joey Deweyko was looking for the whole fight. That's all he could really do because he's only 5'10". So, being 6 inches shorter, half a foot shorter than his opponent, he'd want to be able to get inside and engage and use his quick hands, his counter punches. But Frank Sanchez started listening to his corner and eventually started boxing, keeping the range, and he pitched a shutout. Won every single round, beat Joey Deweyko. So Frank Sanchez definitely has some boxing skill, but we knew that as well. He's got over 200 amateur fights coming out of Cuba before he defected to America. So it is what it is. It didn't seem to hurt Joey Deweyko majorly throughout the fight. And yeah, he won a 10 round fight? Yeah, 10 round fight. So he scored it 100 to 90. Won every round. So it'll be interesting to see Robert Alfonso when he steps up his level of competition against somebody maybe the level of Joey Deweyko, but somebody of similar size would make it a bit more interesting. But we'll see where he goes. The next one on the card was Efe Ajagba versus Razvan Kajanu, 10 round fight. Raz came to fight. He was landing a few shots here and there, but walking forward, not throwing a lot of punches at times is not effective aggression. So you can't win fights without throwing enough punches. And to Ajagba's credit, it was his work that was stopping Kajani from throwing a lot of punches. It was good to see Ajagba attacking body, head, but still not using any lateral movement. His feet look pretty heavy, but certainly an improvement from his last performance where Lago Kaladze put him down, and Ajagba came back for the win. Now, to the juicy one. Adam Kovnarski gets knocked out by Robert Helenius in the 4th round. Well, not physically knocked out, but he got stopped. Got put down twice. The referee called the first one a slip, but it was a right hand. Dropped Kovnarski down to a knee. He got straight back up. Helenius knew he was hurt. Attacked him again. Another big right hand and a left hook and another big right hand, and down goes Kovnarski. That picture down in the corner of the stream is the second knockdown. After that, Kovnarski got up and Helenius put his foot on the gas, didn't stop throwing punches, hooks, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, stopped the fight. Kovnarski was out on his feet. And for me, it was unexpected, but I was saying if Helenius is going to have any success, it's going to have to be within the 4 to 6 rounds, or he's going to gas and then he'll get knocked out. Some were saying Kovnarski is going to win in 2 rounds. I knew myself, no, that's not going to happen. Helenius only gets knocked out when he starts getting tired. Same happened against Washington. Same happened against Duhaupas, the 2 guys that have stopped him. But you mustn't forget Robert Helenius. Back before Duhaupas beat him, many were saying this is the guy who's going to replace Klitschko, because he hits freaking hard. Doesn't look like he hits that hard when he throws, but his right hand is heavy. And somebody with a chin like Kovnarski has just proved that Robert Helenius can still bang even at 36 years old. Now, he is pretty one-dimensional. He's right-hand orientated. He's got a half-decent jab, but he doesn't use it enough, but it's a thudding jab. Now, there was a point in the 2nd round, for the first time in a long time, anyone would have seen Adam Kovnarski back up, and that was due to a heavy right hand from Helenius. However, when I was watching the fight, I was thinking to myself, okay, he hurt him, he backed him up, but then he didn't keep pouring it on. So I thought by the end of round 2, it looked like Helenius was starting to gas a bit. And I expected him to gas a little quicker against Kovnarski than he would anyone else, because Kovnarski throws the most punches in the heavyweight division. His defense is his offense. But that proved to be Kovnarski's downfall. You can't always have offense as your defense, because if you get hit by a heavy-handed puncher, no matter how good your chin is, it's either going to slow you down or it's going to knock you the fuck out. Now, when round 3 started, I thought Kovnarski was actually getting a second wind after getting hurt a bit in that 2nd round. And I thought by the end of round 3, oh shit, here we go. Helenius is starting to capitulate. He's starting to gas out. He's going to get knocked out in the next couple of rounds if he doesn't catch Kovnarski coming in with something. But he did. Kovnarski was trying to put the pressure on Helenius, backed him up into the corner. Helenius stepped around him with an angle and landed a right hand, boom, down to a knee. And the ref called it a slip. He just didn't see the punch, the ref. But neither did Kovnarski. And we all know, those are the punches that hurt the most. are the ones you don't see coming, right? And from then on, once Kovnarski was hurt, it was just a matter of time. And for me, I thought Helenius pouring it on like he did to try and get the stoppage was almost a last hurrah for the fight. If he hadn't have gotten Kovnarski out of there with that flurry, he would have been out of gas. Kovnarski would have had the chance to recover, and Helenius would have got knocked out. That's how I was seeing it would have happened. But credit to Helenius. He landed what he needed to, he got the job done, and he beat one of the top prospects in the division. The Nordic Nightmare is back. I'd like to see some changes in Helenius' game. I'd like to see him stop backing out with his chin up. That's how we got knocked out against Washington, and that's how he gets tagged a lot of the time. When he's backing up, it's always going around to his opponent's right, and he's always got his chin up and his hands down trying to get away. I think he should try and move around the other way, around to the left-hand side of his opponents, unless they're southpaw, of course, if he wants to have an exit route that way. But it's a bad habit that he's done all his career, and he's going to be in another eliminator or final eliminator of some sort, because this fight was a WBA eliminator. Now, depending on who he faces, he's likely to get stopped. So I'll just have a quick look at the rankings, and then I'll open up some lines for everybody to get on, anybody who wants to jump on and have a chat. So WBA, of course, we've got Anthony Joshua as the champion. We've got Manuel Charr, regular champion. Trevor Bryan as the interim champion. Those two are fighting. We haven't got a date and venue set, but Don King won the purse bid for that fight, so those belts are going to get wound into one. We have Deontay Wilder at number 2 in the WBA, but he's busy with his rematch for now. Alexander Usyk at number 3. He's WBA mandatory, so he's not likely to be fighting Kovnarski whatsoever. Kovnarski at number 4 right now, but these aren't refreshed rankings. He will drop down. Luis Ortiz at number 5. So depending what happens with the next round of rankings refreshment with the WBA, man, I could see the WBA ordering another title eliminator, like a tournament the other side of the bracket, and I could see them ordering Luis Ortiz versus Andy Ruiz. Robert Helenius is number 7. He'll be going up. He'll go up to number 4 where Kovnarski is, I imagine, and Kovnarski will go down to number 7. Povetkin is busy with, he's at number 8. He's busy with White, so man, it could be, if the WBA order Ortiz versus Ruiz for a title eliminator, and they fight, the winner of that might fight Robert Helenius. But I see Andy Ruiz, his style with the fast hands could possibly be a problem for Helenius. You get caught with that shot backing out like I was talking about. Luis Ortiz doesn't pour on as much pressure, so I think he's probably more hittable for Helenius. He'll have more opportunity, and if he lands on Ortiz flush, he could possibly stop him, but I'd still pick Ortiz to beat Helenius. However, he's only 6'3", just like Kovnarski. You got to remember, Robert Helenius is a fucking big unit, 6'7.5". He's a big dude, man. With that long reach, it's always a question whether he can put out enough punches to keep these smaller guys off him. And I think no matter who he faces next, if he can't get them out of there by round 6, he's going to get knocked out. Alright, so there is a link in the description for anybody who might like to join. I will go and get into the chat room myself. Boom. I'm in. If anybody wants to join, there is a link in the description. You can jump on, have a yarn, and talk about what happened over the weekend. I'd love somebody to jump on and tell me about Robert Alfonso and Carlos Negron, if they've managed to find a way to watch that. It wasn't on the telecast, unfortunately. So we'll see how we go with whoever may jump on. Alright, who's in the chat here? We've got Adam Fahey in the house. Yeah, the Nordic Nightmare. It's woken everybody up. For Kalnacki, you know, I think he's really entertaining to watch because he throws so many punches, but to a degree, it had to be a matter of time before he faces somebody who can punch that's going to clip him on the way in. When you got no defense and you're there to be hit, it's just a matter of time before someone does it, and Robert Helenius has done it. Mala2243 in the house as well. Gonna jump on in about 30. Sweet as, brother. Like to see Huey Fury and Zhili Zhang. Yeah, that style matchup isn't bad. Not bad whatsoever. I've often thought about Parker versus Zhili Zhang as well. Even Kabiel versus Zhili Zhang. Those styles would make for an entertaining fight. Maybe not so much for the guys who are just looking for knockouts and nothing else, but guys who can appreciate a bit of boxing skill. Those fights would be great to watch. First knockdown is what did Kalnacki in. Quite possibly, man. He wasn't himself after that, and I can't believe that ref didn't call it a knockdown. Everybody that I've seen with their reaction when they were actually watching it was, oh shit, Kalnacki's down. The ref called it a slip? It's like, everybody saw the punch except the fucking referee. Robert was getting tired. Yeah, that's right. I was expecting him to get knocked out. If he didn't do it before 6, then I was fully expecting him to gas out and get sparked. Makes you wonder about his conditioning that he does in training. I mean, it's always the case with him. If it gets past 6, he's out of gas. I mean, look what happened with Washington. Round 7, out of gas, couldn't run away quick enough. Backing up, hands down, chin up. Come on, hit me. Down you go. Simple as that. He's got some bad habits, but he's 36 and it's hard to break those habits when you're that far into your professional career. Excuse me. Where was that comment? It moved. Helenius would be a good scout for Parker. Be okay. I mean, even though he's got this win, there ain't many who really rate Helenius as a top 10 boxer. No way. Like I said, he's very one-dimensional, and it's kind of like Adam Kalnacki as well. He's very one-dimensional. It's come forward, throw punches. What else has he got? Kalnacki looked like an amateur. Well, you know, his style, a whole lot of punches and just coming forward and throwing punches all the time, it actually probably suits the amateurs better than it does the pros. If you don't have patience, you don't have defense. I mean, that one-dimensional outlook applies to a lot of fighters. You know, Deontay Wilder's got his big right hand. We've got Kalnacki, and Miller, who just come forward and throw lots of punches that don't have any defense. Helenius, he's one trick pony. He's got a right hand and he's got a jab, but he doesn't use them enough. His feet are crap. His chin is crap. You know, it applies to a lot of fighters, and if plan A doesn't work when you're very one-dimensional and there's no plan B, you got to trip up somewhere along the way against somebody who can alter their game, who can punch, and does have all-round fundamentals. So, yeah, it is what it is, man. Shit like this happens in boxing. That's why they say one punch can change everything. Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. Same shit. I mean, there ain't many who put real faith in a pick against Adam Kovnarski in that fight. But there's always that chance, man. Always that chance. He'd be heavy favourite, I think, yeah. Kiwi Buds in the house. Good to have you in. AA Boxing and Blunts. Also good to see you, brother. Kanaki and Helenius both look like white collar boxers. Didn't look like two top 10 fighters. No, I agree. But still, it was a fight. And it's not such a bad thing getting these unexpected results. Shakes shit up a bit, gives everybody else a bit more of an opportunity. So, yeah. The Nordic Nightmare gets another shot before he sails off into the sunset at 36 years old right now. He's got another big fight coming, whoever the WBA stipulate for him to fight. It's going to be awesome. Yeah, Helenius could be a stepping stone for any of the top 10 in the WBA rated fighters, but there's going to be a big shake-up with their rankings once a few of the top guys have got fights booked. So, you know, whatever happens with their fights, shit's going to change with the WBA, and we're finally going to get rid of either Manuel Charr or Trevor Bryan at the top of the list. They don't freaking belong there whatsoever. So we'll see what happens, man. Link in the description if anybody wants to join. I might actually copy it and put it in the chat for y'all just to make sure. Pin it to the top. Can't copy it. Give me a sec here. Hopefully that copies the right link, not the bloody YouTube link like it does sometimes. Yeah, that's the link to join. Nearly there, peeps. Boom, there's the link to join for anybody who wants to jump on, and I'll pin that to the top so it doesn't disappear. Boom. There we go. Anybody wants to join, hit that link. Takes you straight to the voice channel, and you're on. That chat's not working either. Have to fix that. Sorry, peeps. I don't know what this shit is. Chat box. How far do y'all think Frank Sanchez could go? I've got a bit of a question about his punching power. You know, it's easy to knock over tomato cans when you're padding up your career to start with. He had like 10 fights in 2018. I think he had 4 fights in 2019. He's had one so far this year, but once you step up to a little bit higher level competition, it's a bit harder to make those fights so easily. Is that working now? Yep, chat's working now. Shut up. He seems to be able to box pretty well, but he's... I got questions over his power. Not because he didn't knock over Joey Daweko. I mean, no one really knocks over Joey Daweko. He's a tough little son of a bitch. But just looking at his punch technique, maybe it was because he was trying to keep Daweko out all night. When he threw a big punch, he was trying to get away pretty quickly because Joey Daweko counters pretty well, and he did land a few good counter shots throughout the fight. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens with the next round of rankings. Maybe he'll get into the top 15, and maybe he can get some decent opponents in the near future. But we'll see. He looks pretty old, even though he's, what does it say, he's only 28 or something on BoxRec. Yeah. Same story with Cuban fighters. They tend to look old. Whether they actually are older or not, I don't know. Who do you guys think Hughie Fury should fight next? David Price. Hughie Fury and David Price is a good fight, I think. What conversations I had on Twitter with some boxing, blah blah blah. No, I see people getting the idea that Helenius is now mandatory. That's coming from the guy that was commentating on Fox. The dude was saying it's a title eliminator, so if Kaunaki wins this, he's going to be fighting Joshua at some stage. No, it's not. It's a title eliminator. It's not a final eliminator. When the WBA says final eliminator, that means whoever wins gets to be mandatory. So it was just an eliminator because Helenius wasn't ranked high enough in the WBA to warrant it being a final eliminator. And I'm not sure about how mandatories work for the WBA. I mean, Luis Ortiz was mandatory at one stage, but he never fought anybody in a final eliminator for that spot. And I've heard some people say that the mandatory, when there is one made for the WBA, that's not for the Super Champion. The Super Champion doesn't have mandatories. So I'm not sure how it works. The mandatory is for the regular champion, and then the regular champion has to fight the mandatory. Whoever wins that gets to fight the WBA Super Champion. Sounds like a big fuck up to me. They need to get rid of some of these belts. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I'll have to do some investigation into their merry-go-round fucking rules, eh? Be a decent dust up. Junior Farr should just jump in. Junior Farr could fight Dempsey McKean if he doesn't get the Parker fight. But I think he'd beat Dempsey as well. Dempsey looks pretty green, man. Watching that fight over the weekend. But
can you hear me, Jono?
I can, mate. How are you, 88?
I'm good. That WBA mandatory thing.
Yeah.
The super champion does have to fight mandatories.
That's what I thought. I had someone trying to tell me that, but
no. But the super champions for is, do you know if the WBA, the WBO, and the IBF all had mandatories that were getting called?
Okay.
The WBA would make the regular champion fight against whoever the mandatory. Say they had the number one, they would make the regular champion fight, and then the winner of that would then become the mandatory. But because Povetkin fought, remember Povetkin was the WBA mandatory for Joshua, and he was a super champion, and Callum Smith just fought against John Ryder. He was a super champion, he had a mandatory.
Well, there you go. So that's cleared up. But I know the WBA is supposed to be ordering a mandatory this month, but Trevor Bryan, being the interim champion, is also a mandatory, isn't he?
I don't know, because if you look at the WBA rankings, it does have an M next to his name, but the interim champion can't be mandatory.
Also,
because
it's opposite.
They've got two other champions. The person,
Okay.
It should be Char. Char should actually fight Joshua next. Char shouldn't need to fight an eliminator because he's the regular champion, but because it's been so long, they're making him defend it.
Fair enough too. Same with Trevor Bryan. He's been sitting on that ranking for more than 12 months, hasn't he? So they both got to fight, and it makes sense that they should both fight and get rid of one of those goddamn belts.
Makes sense.
Hopefully,
I don't know about the gold champion. I don't think the gold champion has to defend it. I don't think the order fights for the gold champion, but if the gold champion fights, his belt's on the line.
Okay. So do you think the winner of Trevor Bryan and Manuel Charles is going to be the mandatory, or are they just going to be the regular champion and they'll appoint another mandatory?
Could be anything. I can't exactly remember what they done with Povetkin. When Povetkin got his shot to fight for the WBA, was he the regular champion?
Yeah, it was regular.
Yeah, but he still had to fight the final eliminator against Hammer.
Oh no, sorry, I'm getting things confused. He was regular champion back when he fought Klitschko, but
yeah,
he was.
But
when he fought Hammer, he was the WBO international champion, I think. And they were talking about making a dual mandatory, but as soon as the fight got fought, the WBO withdrew their mandatory status with him. So that's how he became WBA mandatory.
Do you know why that happened?
No.
There's a press release for that. I'll tell you the dates. It was like the 2nd of August. They said that Povetkin would fight. He would be mandatory for the WBO and the WBA. And then the WBO came out and said that Povetkin wouldn't fulfill the WBO mandatory requirements for the fight. So they couldn't sanction it as a WBO mandatory. But that was at the same time. That's when they actually made Usyk mandatory. Was that date? It was August the 2nd. They made Usyk like champion, and they made Joshua super champion. And then a few weeks later, Povetkin wouldn't fulfill them his promise, so they made Usyk the actual mandatory. So Usyk's been mandatory for 17 months already.
Wow.
And counting.
Wow.
So they really need to do something with that. Because my biggest worry is what happens if AJ fights Pulev, beats Pulev, and Fury beats Wilder, and they have a fight. There's not a chance AJ is going to fight Tyson Fury without a rematch clause.
No,
so and then you'll have after they fight, Usyk will be mandatory for 2 years, best part of 2 years, longer than 2 years. That would take him to like over 2 years, and then mandatory for.
If AJ and Fury do fight, and there's probably going to be a 2-way rematch clause, as soon as that fight's complete, or as soon as someone takes up the rematch, the WBO should be stripping that belt. But I'm still wondering, even if they make a fight between Fury and AJ, I think the WBO will just strip the belt anyway, because they've made that condition that Pulev could go first if Usyk is the next fight. So that puts Undisputed out of the way.
That's false, mate, because I'm telling you, I'll send you I'm sure I already sent you them, but I went onto the WBO website and looked at their press releases, and they put up on their website a statement that Eddie Hearn had gave to IFL, and it says on that because Povetkin had pulled out, as soon as Joshua fought Povetkin, he had to fight Usyk next, and they allowed him to go and fight a voluntary, and then they allowed a rematch in a voluntary. You got to remember, Usyk's actually been mandatory for Joshua since before he fought Povetkin. So Joshua's already had 3 fights while Usyk's been mandatory, which is crazy.
It is crazy, but at the same time, I see what you're saying and I understand. But at the same time, I think Usyk's starting to get a little bit impatient. If he starts putting pressure on the WBO, then maybe they will enforce what they said. I don't know. We'll see what happens. It's getting a bit hazy because, Usyk is making out like he wants to fight Chisora, and then he turns around and pulls an injury, whether it's an actual injury or not. I don't think he really wanted to fight Usyk in the first place. He just wants that title shot now, but he's had his heavyweight debut, he's got his feet wet, so I don't know, man. We'll see what happens, but I'd like to see Usyk Parker for the title.
That's what I mean. It has to be for a title, though. Usyk isn't going to fight Parker while you're waiting for a title shot. No. And Parker's not going to fight Usyk unless there's a title on the line.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, like, when people are saying stuff like, there's no 2 top 10 fighters who are going to fight each other for fun.
No.
Like, even money, they want a belt.
No. Well, see, there was talk of this Hunter versus Parker fight as well. And I don't see that happening unless it's a final eliminator. And as they sit right now, it makes no sense for either of them to be... Well, Parker could be in a final eliminator for the WBO because he's number 2, but Hunter isn't ranked high enough to be in a final eliminator anywhere. So...
It doesn't matter when you're ranked. A final eliminator doesn't need to be number 1 and 2.
No, it needs to be the top 2 available fighters, though. For most sanctioning bodies, that's what it says in their rules. Hey.
Dillian White was number 1, and when he fought Rivas was number 10, and that's a final eliminator. Number 1 and number 10 can fight a final eliminator.
Yeah, who above Rivas wasn't available, though? And who had already been approached for a fight against White and didn't want the fight? We don't know half of that information.
No, because they ordered. Was that not an ordered fight? Did they not order that fight?
It was ordered.
As a final eliminator.
Yeah, it was ordered as a final eliminator for the interim and mandatory status. But I mean, the guys above Rivas were either busy or they didn't want the fight. Is what I'm saying. Because they should have been given the opportunity to take the fight, and if they didn't want it, well, but half of that information we aren't privy to. We don't know who was approached by the WBC to participate in the final eliminator with Dillian White. Luis Ortiz was busy, Tyson Fury was busy, Deontay Wilder was busy. Who else was above him in the rankings at the time? I don't know. There was a few.
Dominic Breazeale was offered the fight. It was Dominic Breazeale who was offered the fight because they made that fight. They actually they wanted Breazeale versus White, but for the mandatory, because they ordered the rematch with Tyson Fury and Wilder. But then when Fury pulled out of the rematch, Breazeale took his mandatory. So
yeah. Breazeale was already mandatory at that stage, wasn't he? It was already mandatory.
Yeah, but the WBC wanted him to put his mandatory on the line against White.
Did they order that one, or was that just Breazeale offered to fight White for $5 million?
I don't know. Mauricio Sullivan has given an interview saying that they were in talks. They were in talks, and then Tyson Fury pulled out, and then he was told that they would make that fight next. So White was talking to Breazeale at the time.
Yeah. And White thinks Breazeale priced himself out.
Something in that.
Yeah.
Everybody prices herself out though.
Yeah, well, he had hold of the mandatory spot, so he could put a price on whatever he wants, really. So
I think Dillian White wanted to be the A side.
Yeah.
Dillian White wanted more money than Breazeale, and Breazeale was saying, "It's I'm putting my shot on the line."
That's right. Fair enough too. He may have been pricing himself out from some people's point of view, but at the same time, like I was just saying, he can put a price on the spot that he holds, even if he obtained it through illegitimate means. It doesn't make any difference. But they did order the Ortiz versus White fight, and White turned that down. I know that was ordered. But yeah, at the time, I don't know who was above Rivas. I thought he was a bit higher than 10. I thought he was about 7 at the time, but I'll take your word for it.
I think it was 10 when they announced it, and I think he might have moved to. I think might have been 6 when they fought.
Yeah, that makes a bit more sense. Okay.
He's higher now though. Rivas is like top 3 now, isn't he? Is Rivas top 3 or top 5?
He's right up there due to him attending that WBC convention and pushing his case about the gloves, wasn't it? That he was. Where is he?
Yeah, he's been. That's strange as well. I've not heard anything about that either.
Yeah.
So that's disappeared as well.
Yeah. So problem.
I'm the exact same as Mr. Boxing today. Like Dillian White, I didn't rate Dillian White. Like, and I made videos on the guy. I think Dillian White was overrated when he fought Helenius. Like, he should never have been in the top 5 of the WBC. When he fought Helenius, he was like, I think he was number 3 before he fought Helenius, and he'd got that ranking beating Ian Lewison. Ian Lewison got him in the top 10. That's disgusting to me. But since then, like Lucas Brown, he was shot, and Parker and Rivas, and then now he's fighting Povetkin.
Yeah,
that's balls. He's got some balls.
He sure does. WBC rankings as they sit, but they will be refreshed. We've got Dillian White as interim champion. We've got Tyson Fury as number 1. And I've still got Deontay Wilder as champion. So those two are going to change around probably. Usyk at number 2. Rivas at number 3. Ortiz at number 4.
Yeah.
Ruiz number 5. Kownacki number 6. Parker number 7. Dubois number 8. So this body's going to have a hell of a shake-up next time around, I think. Because Kownacki's going to drop down a couple of places. I don't know what Luis Ortiz is still doing up at number 4. He needs to go down a couple more spots, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. But Rivas, Rivas is probably going to end up in the final eliminator at some stage if he's going to sit on that spot. But it depends what he's going to do, I suppose. Who he's going to fight.
Dubois' rankings are crazy for me. Like, Dubois got that silver belt now. He's got the British, the Commonwealth. He's fighting for the European. And the Europeans actually, I don't know if people know this, but the EBU belt, that's the WBC. That's basically the WBC version of European belt. That originates for the WBC. So that gives you a high ranking with them. They count that. If you go down to the bottom right on their rankings, that's a belt they will say champions.
It's got a lot of weight.
They recognise that. Yeah. It's only a couple of months into it. Daniel Dubois is going to end up right up there.
Well, assuming he gets past Joyce anyway, but I think he will.
Yep.
Yeah, we're in for a shake-up for sure in the next while with a lot of rankings. Busy next couple of months, so we'll see what happens though. What did you think of that? What was that? Sorry, you cut out.
Did you catch up? I missed one of the heavyweight fights. I've not seen that yet. The Alfonso fight
wasn't televised, man. That's why I'm trying to find somebody who recorded it, or whether it was on. It might have been on. Is there a Fox YouTube channel?
I've got Fox. I've got actual Fox in my house. I didn't know if it'd be on that. If it'd be like replayed.
Yeah. Well, when I tuned in to the broadcast as soon as it was available. And they're saying, oh, we got 3 heavyweight fights for you tonight. And I'm like, oh, fuck it. I was hoping that Alfonso fight would be on there. But I had my suspicions about Negron possibly putting up more of a fight than people think. You know, people look at Robert Alfonso's record. As soon as they see that O, they go, oh, well, he's going to win. But Negron's no bum. So, first round knockout, I want to see it.
Somebody's got to have that.
Yeah. If anybody has a copy of that fight in any way, shape or form, let us know. Go to the general chat on Discord, drop it in there and we'll sort it out. But For y'all who do want to see them, I did put the Adam Kalnaki Helenius fight up on the fight replays tab, and I also put the Dempsey McKean versus Jonathan Rice fight up there as well, so you can go and watch them.
Alright, that is Joro, it's on the Fox YouTube channel. Somebody's just put in the chat, and Tony Yoka's off the card at the weekend. I don't like Tony Yoka. I'll watch Tony Yoka once he actually starts fighting.
Yeah, he's due to start stepping into some decent opposition. He's padded his record enough.
Do you know if he's still with Schaefer? Is he still a ring star fighter, or is his contract up?
Well, I don't know if that was only a co-promotion deal. I think his primary promoter is some French promoter. So
no, it's Ringstar. Ringstar was his promoter, but he had a TV deal with Canal.
Oh, okay.
I went to one of the shows in France. I watched Yoka fight in France because one of the Scottish boys was fighting on it, and I went to it's Schaefer. They were all fighting under Ringstar at the time.
Okay.
But I didn't, because there's a Jagba, Joyce, and Yoka were all signed to Schaefer, but I don't know how many still signed to Schaefer.
Okay, I'm looking up on
because I wouldn't mind seeing it.
See if they've got it.
I wouldn't mind seeing them fight.
Who? Tony Yoka and who? Sorry.
A Jagba.
A Jagba. Excuse me. I think a Jagba might get a bit creamed by Tony Yoka, to be honest. He's still not moving his feet very well. Is a Jagba. I think he did show some improvements on the weekend, though. What did you think of that fight? You saw that one, eh?
What one's that?
Tony, sorry.
The Jagba.
A Jagba and Kajanu one.
I thought he done alright. A lot of people were saying, nah, he is. A Jagba's still a Ringstar fighter. He's on their website for the Kajanu fight. Somebody's just put up that he's left there. No, he's still there. He's still a Ringstar fighter. He's just signed a co-promotional deal with Top Rank. Schaefer now working with PBC. I don't know who that is, but that's totally false. Tony Yoka's still with Ringstar.
Okay. Bob's getting a few co-promotional deals going on now, picking up a few heavyweights. Start making some good heavyweight fights then, Bob. Let's see it. Tony Yoka. So, did Tony Yoka fight on the weekend, did he? I forgot about that one.
No, he was supposed to be fighting this weekend, I think. Somebody said in the chat he's off the card at Madison. I didn't know he was supposed to be fighting. That says there.
There's nothing on BoxRec scheduled for him. So, take it for what it is. He hasn't fought since the end of September last year. Was his last fight against Michelle Wallace. So, and
I think
stopped.
I think he did have a TV deal in France with Canal. So, do you remember when he got banned for fighting in France?
Yeah, for missing drug tests.
He couldn't. Yeah, and people were saying, oh, he should fight in America. I don't think he could fight in America because he had an exclusive deal to be fighting on their network. So I think that's why he couldn't fight.
Yeah, I was wondering why he didn't go and get some fights somewhere else, even in the UK or something. But if you've got an exclusive deal, you've got an exclusive deal tied into it. Hopefully it's not too long, because there must be something. He must be able to fight elsewhere, being co-promoted by Top Rank now. So it's a positive, hopefully. Yeah. Okay, Robert Alfonso. It's on YouTube, they reckon. Let's see if I can find it, because not much footage. It's only a one-round fight. Robert Alfonso versus Carlos Negron. Oops, I'm going to put full fight on the end of that. blocked in my country. Video unavailable.
Oh, I'm scared to check. No, I'm not even checking. I'll find it though. If I find it, I'll put it up, John. I'll figure out how to do it.
That'll be the one. Awesome, brother.
I've just got this new thing somebody's just gave me the day. It's got like all the Polish channels and that again. I lost all my Polish and German TV channels for the boxing, but I've just got the thing back on about half an hour ago, so
okay.
I don't know if they're in the boxing, but
worth a look though. Very cool. Alright, so Helenius knocking out Kownacki. What did you think of that fight, man? Get your opinion on that one.
I was shocked. Did you see the Boxing Square video before it? Where he said about Kownacki and the messages about him being £10 and carrying water and all that?
No. Oh, I've seen the video about him being a bit heavier, but that's all.
Yeah. I think he's in terrible shape. I think before the fight, he never looks like he's improving, doesn't he? No.
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest. Some people, it's different. Andy Ruiz is a lot bigger. Like Kownacki, if Kownacki actually put it, I bet you could actually have a decent body.
Yeah.
I don't know. He looked vulnerable. Both of them looked. It looked like watching two people fight outside a pub.
It was. They didn't look very like high level boxers at all, did they? So, it was entertaining though. I've got to give it that. But I always thought Helenius can bang, so Kownacki should have been careful in the first few rounds until he slows him down a bit. But he says he's going to go back to the drawing board, Kownacki. Do you think he's actually going to try and work on some defense? Or maybe some head movement while he's coming in? Or what can he do?
He'll probably work on it, but whether or not he actually implements it when he gets in the rings, like, I think he'll go away and try his best, but he'll come in there again, he'll put his head down and he'll walk forward.
Yeah. Excuse me.
I don't know if he's found his level. Maybe he's found his level.
Well, I was thinking about it too, though. Helenius is the first proven heavy puncher that he's faced. Gerald Washington can bang when he's not pushed on the back foot all the time. But who else besides Washington has got a proven punch that Kownacki's faced? You're going to come forward all night and not face any punches, yeah, you're going to win. But if somebody can actually clip you on the way in with a heavy punch, it's going to hurt. Excuse me for a sec, I'm just switching over to my phone. Hopefully. Trying to.
My phone's freezing.
Right, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Somebody saying Tony Yoke has definitely left Schaefer and he's just only way top rank, but
are you positive his contract's run out with Schaefer?
I don't know. Maybe. I thought he was still in contract. I know somebody who's signed to Ringstar, but they fight with Frank Warren. No, they don't fight in America, so he would probably know, but I can't message him at this time. I'm on the website. I'm on the Schaefer website, but I'm on the fighters. It's no moving. It's freezing on the fighters. He was still on their website. Maybe he's just moved straight to Bob.
He might have, yeah. Maybe even Bob bought the contract out. Who knows? He seems pretty concentrated on getting as many heavyweights as he can at the moment. So, which is unusual for Bob. He's never really been that concentrated on heavyweights.
I think it's for that. It's for the ESPN app, isn't it? Let's be honest, the ESPN app's aimed at casuals. That's aimed for people who, you don't buy that for boxing, you buy that for other sports. So you can put loads of heavyweight. A lot of people who are casual would rather watch two shitty heavyweights fight than two really good middleweights.
Yeah, because they're really more interested in seeing a knockout. Yeah, you're most likely to get a knockout in heavyweights, so yeah. You guys are getting the zone soon. We're getting it down here as well. What do you reckon of that?
I'm not impressed.
You're not?
It's only got 12 fights in 12 months. It's going to be 12 fights or 12 months in the UK. Every fight's going to be international, which means they're all going to be in America between 2 and 5 in the morning for the first year. So they want us to pay extra to watch fights that are on it between 2 and 5 in the morning that Sky used to give for free. You've got to remember, we're going to get Triple G.
It's not free when you got to pay for Sky though, is it? And DAZN is just a subscription as well.
Yeah, but you can't cancel Sky and just have DAZN when they've only got 12 fights and every fight's on it. You've got to remember, they're telling us that you're getting Triple G shows, which is 2 Triple G fights a year. And then we're going to get some Golden Boy shows. And then we're going to get the Eddie Hearn. The rest are going to be the Matchroom USA. And Eddie Hearn's got 14 shows in America. So if we're getting Triple G and Golden Boy, we're only going to get 6 of the Eddie Hearn shows. I don't really feel happy paying extra money to watch like fucking John O'Carroll versus Tevin Farmer fights at 2 in the morning. That's the kind of fight that will be on DAZN for the first year.
I wonder if there's going to be a bit of an overlap, because I assume Matchroom has still got a contract with Sky for a while, even while DAZN's in the UK.
Sky, well, DAZN's launching in May 2002, and then the Sky Matchroom deal ends in June 2021. Somebody's just put in the chat, only £5 a month, though, no bad. But we're already getting the fights for free. Why do you like to pay an extra £5 to watch fights that you're already getting on your Sky subscription?
Well,
that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I see what you're getting at. It's not good for the time frame for the UK. No matter where the fights are, pretty much, unless they're in the UK. But you're not going to get UK fights on DAZN in the UK, are you?
No. No, we're not even going to get all of the. We're not going to get all the Matchroom USA shows on it either. So you're still going to need Sky. I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but there's a boxing promoter called Dennis Hobson. He was Ricky Hatton's promoter back in the day. He's just signed a deal with Eurosport in the UK. So
what's Eurosport? Excuse my ignorance.
It's a free sports channel through cable, though you have to have a cable box, but it's free. Everybody gets it. So we've got boxing on that, boxing on Channel 5. Then we get boxing on BT, boxing on Sky, and boxing its own Box Nation. Like the Hilarious fight last night was on Box Nation. So we still on 5 different platforms.
Far out. That makes it tough, doesn't it? Having so many platforms.
I don't mind. Like, I've still got Sky, and I pay like £47 a month just for sports, just for Sky Sports and BT, and then I have to buy pay-per-views on top of that. So I pay £50 a month, and then if I have a pay-per-view, it's an extra £25. So if somebody can give me all the boxing for £40, I would pay £40 a month just for a boxing channel that had all the boxing.
Now that's a bloody good idea. Something that can combine all the networks into one place.
That's what somebody's saying in the chat. It would be good if DAZN had every fight, but they never will. So you always need Sky, BT, Box Nation, Eurosport, DAZN. It's just another platform. Like,
at least until the Sky, until the Matchroom contract runs out with Sky, anyway. But
then it's not. That's not true. What happens? Say Eddie Hearn turns around to Sky and says, "Okay, I'm going to leave you. I'm going exclusively to DAZN," and they turn around to MTK and say, "All right, MTK, there's the Sky." MTK will put on world title fights on Sky. If you want to watch the world title fights, you're going to need to have Sky. So you're never going to be able to cancel. If you want to watch all boxing, you're going to need everything, aren't you?
Over there, yeah. I'm happy about it coming to New Zealand because we're getting it at the same time. It's supposed to be May this year, or before Cinco de Mayo, so the Canelo fight.
Did you watch the interview? Did you see Eddie Hearn talking about it?
No, I've been looking for it. I can't find it. So if you could send me a link if you know where it is. I don't know what the title of it is. It was on IFL. I know that much.
I don't think it. I think it was actually on Boxing Social. It might have been on Boxing Social seconds out. He basically just said that DAZN were expanding in May to certain territories, and they were looking at moving into Australia. He said for the simple fact that they can put on. They're just going to come into Australia and bring DAZN to Australia and charge people to watch international fights. They're not talking about putting any cards on yet. So basically, you give them $10 a month and you can watch all the DAZN USA cards.
I had an article actually. I dropped it in one of my videos talking about how it's coming to New Zealand.
But does that mean Parker?
Yeah, well, that's what they're talking about. Junior Farr and Joseph Parker down here, and if they make that fight, it would be like an inaugural boxing event in New Zealand to get subscriptions for DAZN when it's down here. So we'll see what happens with that.
Right, I'll be 2 seconds, John. I'll be back in 2 seconds. 2 seconds.
Me. But yeah, I think that's the reason they're talking about Junior Farr, Joseph Parker down here, is because they want a subscription grab for the launch of DAZN down here. And we mustn't forget, DAZN isn't only boxing. There's lots of other sports that are on DAZN as well. So we have our own Sky New Zealand down here that doesn't cover a lot of boxing. We're lucky if we get one show every month on Sky down here. So I'll be happy to watch. I'd be happy to buy DAZN down here. I don't subscribe to Sky anymore because they just don't have the coverage that I want, and I'm not paying about $60 a month down here to get standard Sky with Sky Sports. So I'm looking forward to the DAZN coming down here. Hopefully they'll have some rugby on as well, because being a New Zealander, you can't be a New Zealander without watching a bit of rugby as well. Matchroom are expanding worldwide. Excuse me. Yeah, it is what it is, but time will tell. By the end of the year, the picture will be a lot clearer, not only for what DAZN is doing, but for what is happening with the entire heavyweight division. Ango in the house. Well, sorry. Where you go?
It's true though. It's just mere cost, isn't it? But I suppose to you, see if you can get something for $10 a month down in Australia where you can watch all the Matchroom shows without having to stream it. It's worth it for you, as long as you get Parker, because you need to pay pay-per-view for them. So
yeah, it's every fight since his 6th fight has been pay-per-view down here, and nothing's been cheaper than $39. So
see when you wanted to watch, see if you wanted to watch John Ryder vs Callum Smith, which was just a standard Sky show in Britain.
Yeah.
How do you access that in New Zealand? Is that on Sky in New Zealand?
Sometimes if it's a big fight, we'll get it televised down here for free, but it's pretty slim pickings. I'm just trying to think of the last free show we had down here from Matchroom in the UK, and I can't put my finger on it. We get the big pay-per-views down here, like the Joshua Ruiz and Usyk v Bellew, and we still have to pay for those. But we do get the odd show. Actually, I don't know if we do get the free ones down here.
1 minute. You had to pay. You paid pay-per-view to watch Usyk vs Bellew?
Yep.
That was pay-per-view in New Zealand?
Yeah.
Holy fuck. You need to go there.
Here too, wasn't it?
It was pay-per-view for us, but that's because we had an English fighter and it was in England.
Yeah.
Why use a? That's like saying Joseph Parker fighting against somebody in New Zealand would be pay-per-view in any other country. That's crazy.
Well, over there, do you remember off the top of your head if Parker versus Ruiz for the title was pay-per-view?
No, that was free.
Yeah, well, there you go.
That was a free
Sky are ripping our undies left, right, and centre.
You really need the zone.
Yeah, we do need the zone. Big time. We do get, that's it, Marla says in the chat, we do get a few of the PBC shows here in New Zealand for free, like the Kovnarski Helenius show yesterday was free. I think we had one the week before as well. I can't remember who it was.
See, that's crazy. So,
oh no, the Garcia versus Vargas fight was pay-per-view, but that was because Parker was on the card. Actually.
So Sky showed the PBC show in New Zealand, but in Britain, Sky never showed that. You had to pay for Box Nation.
Okay. Not a pay-per-view though, eh? It was still subscription-based.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
It always is. Well, mostly is.
Yeah, Parker v Ruiz was on Box Nation for free, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it was the. Nah, we only. Really, unless it's Tyson Fury, Joshua, Kell Brook, you know the pay-per-view. That's pretty much what we have.
Yeah.
I know that was that Don Hearn's saying. Do you know that? Do you know the Epic Centre? That
Epicenter TV. Yep.
You couldn't buy that for Britain.
Yeah, I heard you were saying the Northern Hemisphere can't buy it or something.
I tried to click on it, and it gave me an error page straight away.
You weren't running a VPN, were you?
No. I was just using my normal.
Interesting. Indeed. Just looking in the chat room, I thought I heard someone else. It must have been an echo. Good. Okay. So where to for Kovnarski next, you think? Andy Ruiz or Luis Ortiz, maybe?
Nah. Let's be honest. They're actually building Ruiz versus Ortiz. They're building that as if I wouldn't be shocked to see maybe the two of them. Could the two of them possibly fight on the undercard that Wilder and Fury? Or would it be too much? And then to maybe try and push them. But I think they're going to build a fight between them. Nah, maybe see Kownacki again. Who's he no fought? Fucking Kaufman. Do you know what I mean? He's going to get put out there against a spanner.
Needs a get back fight. You reckon?
Who's back? Who's Ariola? Stavern still want to fight? To get through in against somebody like that.
Yeah, possibly. Where was he ranked highest? He's 4 with the IBF. Was 6 with the WBC. Oh, sorry, it's 4 with the WBA. Oh shit, 3 with the IBF. So maybe that would be a good track for him to try and chase through the IBF. I don't imagine he'll drop too far down. He might drop down to number 7 maybe. How about Kownacki versus Hunter? I know it's a cross promotion between...
Nah, no chance. I don't know. Eddie Hearn's not going to let Hunter fight off the zone, and there's no way they're going to let Kownacki go. They're going to build him again, and they need to. Like, realistically, that's never going to happen.
Kownacki Martin rematch. How's that?
This is what I mean. As a boxer, like, if you're sitting in decent with IBF, the IBS where you want to be there now because Pulla's about to fight AJ, so they're going to want to call for their final eliminator probably within 6 months. So, like the WBA, that's ages away. The WBO is next. And then there's a good chance that the WBC will be in before then. And there could be an undisputed. So you really want to be waiting in line for that next IBF, don't you?
Yeah. IBF. So if we take out Kalnacki out of 3 and Pulev out of 1, Pulev's going to be fighting and Kalnacki's going to drop down. We've got Kabiel at number 4, Ruiz at number 5, Usyk number 6, Hunter versus number 7. So Usyk is busy at number 4. Ruiz wants a get-back fight before he fights Ortiz and possibly the end of the year. So those guys are busy. Agit Kabiel versus Michael Hunter for a final eliminator for the IBF could be possible, depending on how low Kalnacki drops down the rankings next time they refresh it. It could end up Agit Kabiel versus Adam Kownacki in a final eliminator.
Do you know Dempsey McKean was fighting for the IBF? The IBF only have a couple of trinkets. They only have a few ranking belts, and one of them's that one that he fought for. That IBF Intercontinental. Was that what he fought for?
It was either Intercontinental or International, one or the other. I'll look it up.
I think they only have an Intercontinental. I don't think the IBF have an international belt.
Dempsey McKean.
I'm sure it might be the belt that Hilarious lost against Washington.
Okay, just looking. Got vacant International Boxing Federation Intercontinental Heavyweight title. So that was the one.
So you see that belt? See if you click on that belt, I think Hilarious lost that belt to Washington.
I think you're right.
That's the one. That was the one that got Hilarious up there. But when Washington won that, Washington never fought for it the next.
Helenius won it when he knocked out Tepper.
Yeah.
Okay. So
that carries some. I don't think they have a lot of belts. They don't have. I don't think they have an intercontinental, an international belt.
Interesting though, when Helenius lost to Washington, Washington didn't get the belt.
No, Washington never fought. Yeah.
So you don't get what with their trinkets. It doesn't look like you get what the other person had if you beat them.
I don't think Washington wasn't a top 15. I think it needs to be an eliminator, so it needs to be 2 top 15 people.
Okay.
I'm not sure. But I do know that belt was vacant, and I noticed when Martin fought against Washington that belt wasn't on the line.
Yeah.
But that usually
Takam had it.
I think that gives you a top 10.
That's how Carlos Takam got his high ranking to obtain that mandatory when Pulev got out. He had that belt and he won it against Mercian Rikowski. Okay. That belt has some power.
Yeah, the power belt.
So Helenius has got it back now. Wow. Did he win it? He must have, because it was an eliminator, wasn't it? Wow. So, what did you think of Dempsey McKean now that you've seen a full fight of his?
He looks like everybody else. He looks like at one point he's done something good and they've took a chance on him. It's just building somebody up because you can see so many faults in him, can't you? Like,
yeah.
To me, if you went in there, but at the same time, he's as good as a lot of them.
Yeah. Hey, he looks like he's got pretty good legs. He could move his legs all night, but he doesn't throw as much punches as his legs would, give you the idea that he could. But he doesn't use much lateral movement either with his feet. is pretty one-dimensional with his punches, so I think he was lucky that he stopped Rice in that fight, because I had Rice up on the cards by a round or two. So.
Let's be honest, I think he would beat Lucas Brown.
Yes, I think he would.
That would be a fight. That's a fight.
I think Bowie Tupou or Solomon Hamono could beat Lucas Brown, though, too. I think he's well past his best.
Am I right in thinking, did he get an opponent?
Lucas Brown, yeah, he did get an opponent to replace whoever he was fighting. I can't remember. So. Lucas Brown.
I think it was announced that he was fighting someone beating. I can't remember who it was.
I always have trouble with this name. Abdi Dabdayev is fighting.
Dabdayev.
Yeah, who's 20-1. 20-0 with one draw, sorry. And it's not for anything. And it's going to be on the 28th of this month. And where are we? It's in the States somewhere, isn't it? Yeah, it's in Vegas, that's right. Park Theater, Las Vegas. It will be a 10-round fight. Let's see if they got anybody else on the card yet. They should do, because it's only a couple of weeks to it. The main event is Lewis Neary versus Aaron Alameda or Alameda. Yeah, who is 25-0. So that could be a decent fight for Lewis Neary. He's 30-0. Any other decent names on the card? Francis Bartholomew is going to be fighting on the card, and he'll be fighting Alberto Puello. Don't know that dude. He's 17-0. Who else? The third fight.
I'm going to see Nathan Gorman.
Oh, has he got a fight lined up? That's right, he has. He's fighting
in Glasgow.
Okay. Who's he fighting, do you know? Or is it not announced?
Nah, he's going to fight a bum.
Yeah, get back fight. So, let's see if we can. I'm sure Boxing Squid did something on it the other day. Yeah, he did. TBA.
Yeah, Josh Taylor card.
Yep. And that's on the 2nd of May.
Yep. Did you see that with Josh Taylor? Josh Taylor's hired Ben Davison as his coach, but Ben Davison isn't going to be coaching him for this fight.
Okay. That's interesting.
He's too busy with Billy Joe.
Busy or something? Yeah, too busy. Okay.
Billy Joe's fighting on the same night in America against Canelo. So,
that's right. Oh, is that confirmed now?
Well, I don't think anybody's confirmed it, but Josh Taylor was in an interview talking about how they've already. He's already knows the Ben Davison will be in his corner. That's crazy, bringing it up.
I've seen plenty of people reporting that it's 95% confirmed, so that's what it is. I'm sure it's close, but it's still not official yet. Just look at Billy Joe Saunders on BoxRec, make sure that it isn't confirmed yet. But it's definitely going to be on Cinco. It's going to be Cinco de Mayo, isn't it? It is confirmed. Yep, the 2nd of May as well. It's definitely confirmed. Yep, it's confirmed on BoxRec anyway.
Nice.
That's cool. That fight's gonna be for the WBO World Super Middleweight title. That's the one that Billy Joe holds, isn't it? So it's also going to be for the WBA World Super Middleweight title. And is that the one Canelo's got? Must be.
I'd watch for that, Jono. I'm not seeing anything from Matchroom. I'm not seeing anything from Matchroom or Billy Joe Saunders or anything to even say that's confirmed. Nothing on Matchroom.
Okay. Sometimes BoxRec do that, don't they? I'm pretty sure it will be. Pretty sure it will be confirmed. What do you think of that fight? Are you looking forward to it or not so much?
I really, really like Billy Joe Saunders, but I've got a feeling that Canelo's just... I thought Billy Joe Saunders was a step above everybody else. But when I watch Canelo just now, I think he's just going to punch Billy Joe Saunders up for fun.
Wow. It depends what Billy Joe comes to the ring though too, because he performs really good sometimes and sometimes he just doesn't. So like his last fight, he didn't look very good at all. But if he fights like he fought against David Lemieux, shit, he could.
That's the only time he's ever fought like that. Billy Joe Saunders has only ever fought like that one time in his life, and that was against Lemieux. Like the second best fight he ever had was probably against Monroe, and he wasn't great. Apart from that, like John Ryder was life and death. We went life and death with Eubank. We went life and death with... Who was the other one he fought? He fought a few. So, like... Andy Lee was a good win. That was a surprise win as well, that knockout. I forgot all about that, to be honest. But he really... Canelo is a step above, isn't he? Like, Canelo's not a puncher. Canelo's not going to stand in front of him like Lemieux.
No. Shit, no.
Oh.
I still think it could be interesting though. I've been asked, well, not asking, but ever since that Lemieux fight, I thought, oh well, I think he could give Canelo a good run for his money. Hopefully he can step up, to the level of his opponent. But I'd still be picking Canelo. For sure.
Yeah, I'm picking Canelo. Don't get me wrong, I would have rather seen this fight a couple of years ago. I had a bit more faith in Billy Joe Saunders a couple of years ago. I think Canelo's improved. Canelo's improved a lot more in my eyes than Billy Joe Saunders has.
I've got my doubts about having Ben Davison as his coach too. It's not going to help with any aggression, is it? He's a defensively minded coach, and I think he needs to be more aggressive against somebody like Canelo. But still, have the.
I was watching. Did you get the Tyson Fury documentary? Tyson Fury done a documentary in the UK, and it was like a 3-part thing. And he was sat at the table with Ben Davison before the Otto Wallen fight, and he's on the phone to his dad, and he tells his dad what weight he is. And he turns around to Ben Davison at the table, and he's saying to Ben Davison, "Why am I so light? Why am I..." He was like, so you could tell me then, and all the way through it, Ben Davison, and when they were in the ring, and Ben Davison's like, was it, when you see an opening, don't take it. Don't risk, don't take risk. You can't tell that to a boxer. It was like, nah.
Especially somebody who's got the ring IQ of Tyson, he knows what risks he can and what can't take. So,
I watched the first fight back again. I watched the first fight and the second fight back again to see if there was any dodgy gloves. I watched the fight back to look at the gloves, just to see, and the gloves are fine to me. There's no glove gate. But nah, Ben Davison all the time, he kept saying to him, like, don't take risks. You need to take a risk, especially when you're in with a guy who's waiting to punch you in the face. You need to hit him. So, all the way through as you can see it.
Yeah, against the puncher, you got to crowd him. You got to take away his opportunity to set. And if you get hit, well, you get hit. But you got to take that chance, or you're not going to win the fight. So.
But Tyson Fury did say in that documentary that he didn't want to leave Ben. He wanted Ben to come to the gym with him, but it was his dad's advice. Like his dad was telling him it was too late.
Yeah. Well, I guess John's a pretty big guy himself. He's boxed a bit, so he does have a clue, and he knows his son better than anybody else, really. I guess. I was picking before the fight. I wanted to see Tyson at about 260, 265. But after seeing that performance that
what was he, 273 or something? Yeah, as long as he's under 280, I've got no problems with him now. If he's going to be aggressive like that and use his body weight, then do it.
What was he at the weigh-in?
I'm not 100% sure. I'm not at my computer right now. I think he was 273.
I think he said he was like, I think he said to his dad he was 260. He was actually only 264 in the ring.
Okay. I wonder why it was. Or maybe he just had breakfast before the weigh-in or something. Eating 3 pounds of eggs.
No, did you know see what he done before the weigh-in? He drank a gallon of water. He drank a gallon of water. He was eating and stuff.
Okay.
It was added on weight.
So 264 in the ring. My thought of 265 that I was talking about wasn't a bad.
Yeah.
Was a bad guess. So that's good. So I see Deontay Wilder's team, they've activated the rematch clause, but now they're talking about, well, maybe we don't want it in July. But isn't that what the contract says? Got to be fought by the end of the July. So
I don't know. Can you remember all this shit about John? You've been there. Can you remember the video with Shelley Finkel talking about the two-way rematch clause that he puts in contracts? I don't know if you remember it. Shelley Finkel gave an interview talking about it was the Anthony Joshua when Joshua and Wilder were talking about fighting, and he said he wanted a two-way rematch clause that Eddie Hearn wasn't putting in. And he said it was the same one. He wanted the same one that he put in every Klitschko contract that was in the same one with Anthony Joshua. I'm sure you've had 30 days to accept it, but 12 months to actually fight.
Oh, 12 months. Okay.
Well, I've not seen the contract. Nobody's seen it, but Shelley Finkel gave an interview about a year and a half ago talking about the rematch clause he uses, and he's always used the Klitschko's, and that he used with Wilder. And it's like the two-way rematch clause. I don't think it needs to be fought straight away, but it needs to be accepted.
Okay. So it's not necessarily immediate. Well, that's not so bad then. If Wilder does want to push it out, I think he should. I think he should push it out to the full 12 months, so he's got time to adapt. He's got time to recover as well. And that'll give him the best chance of possibly getting his belt back. And in the meantime, Tyson can just go and fight Dillian and possibly someone else before the end of the year. Possibly a unification or undisputed fight. So maybe it's a good thing from Wilder's team for both ways, I think. It seems like Tyson...
I've got another question for you.
Yo.
Have you ever seen Mark Breland? Have you ever actually seen Mark Breland fighting when he was a fighter?
I watched a couple of his highlights just the other day.
Deontay Wilder. Now that Deontay Wilder's style. Did you see him fight? How many windmill punches he throws?
Yeah.
How shit his balance is?
Yeah.
His punching technique. That is exact. I honestly, when I watched that fight, I thought that's Deontay Wilder's dad. That's what, honestly. It's the exact same style. Everything about that guy is what Deontay Wilder's trying to do. Like Deontay Wilder needs to sack him if he wants to do anything. Like honestly, that guy's his technique, Wilder's whole technique, standing there looking for a big punch, is based on that guy. When I watched these fights, I watched about 5 or 6 of these fights, and I thought, fucking hell. Like, you cannot have that guy in your corner if you want to learn to box. That guy's never going to teach you how to throw a jab and work behind a jab. Never.
I see a lot of people are putting their hand up to train Deontay now as well. But, you could be right. I mean, Breland's got a lot of experience. I'm going to have to go back and take a closer look at these fights now that you mentioned that.
Oh, some of the lunges, he was lunging in on punches, and he was throwing windmills, and he was spinning round, absolutely spinning in circles. It was terrible. Somebody in the chat saying he was the best UFC amateur of all time. That's a rubbish analysis. Go watch his professional fights. There's one of his highlights, his knockout highlights he's got is like watching Deontay Wilder knockout highlights. Don't get me wrong, the guy was knocking people out. He was a world champion. But his whole technique, there's no boxing involved. It's about rushing people with a big punch. That's it. Like, I'm not saying the guy was shit. The guy was a good boxer, but it was exactly the same style as Wilder.
Yeah, I can't comment too much. No, yeah, I can't disagree or agree with you at this stage until I've actually gone and looked into it harder myself. I mean, I've watched a bit of Mark Breland, and I never thought about trying to compare styles with Wilder before. So interesting theory, to say the very least. But I will go and have a look. And Unger says, Mark Breland is the best amateur, USA amateur of all time. It's possible, but it doesn't mean that he didn't have flaws in his game at the same time.
Oh, it's no flaw. Like, he was able to rush in there and punch people up the same as Deontay Wilder's done his whole career. But now that you're trying to find another style, you don't want somebody who's already taught you that style.
Yeah.
Like,
I definitely get what you're saying for sure. But yeah, I still think if someone's going to go, they need to get rid of that JD's prick first. That dude's just there to say, yes, Deontay, you're great, Deontay. Don't worry about learning anything else, Deontay. That's just my opinion, but it seems that's the way it is.
I don't think Wilder wants to get rid of him, though, because he was, I think, you see, before Wilder actually went to Golden Boy, that was that guy, that Jay Diaz and Goosen used to put on a lot of his shows. They used to do a lot of the shows. See, the small hall shows where Wilder was knocking people out. Yeah. They were Jay Diaz promotions. So I think Diaz, his first, I don't know how many fights. I think out his first 20 fights, probably 10 or more, might have been Diaz who promoted them. So
yeah, it was somewhere between 15 and 20, apparently.
Was it?
Where he signed with Golden Boy. So, it is what it is. And I also get what you say. You know, JD's was the guy who Wilder strolled into a gym and JD's was there and decided to try and make something of him. So there's the loyalty factor there, but having someone in your corner that just says push forward, right hand, push forward, right hand, that's not good when you're getting beat up. You've got to change the game plan. If pushing forward and throwing the right hand isn't working, you've got to be able to do something else. And
I think Ungard got it in the spot on there. He says Breland's style was fine as a welterweight, but not for a heavyweight. Exactly. It's like I've seen Breland fights before, and I'd never really. But then when I went back and watched them, and I noticed how much it's like Wilder's. See that hole with the leg, that stance with just the right hand cocked in it. The amount of times Breland was just sat doing it, I thought that's been taught to. Obviously, Wilder's got that in him, but that's been drilled into him more and more by him. That looks like a drill that Breland did all his life.
Yeah, indeed. Seems like he's going to keep Breland on for now, anyway. But I see Goosen's offered to train him as well, and he's already had a part in Deontay's earlier career, like you were saying. So maybe another coach's input isn't such a bad thing.
He's traded Pulev, He's traded Pulev for the Joshua fight as well. Goosen.
Yes, he announced that on the forecast, didn't he? On the broadcast, he's going to be in the corner for Pulev against Joshua. So let's see if that makes any difference. He's also officially signed as his trainer, so it's not just a one-fight thing. He was flying out to Bulgaria today to go and work with Pulev, because Pulev got deported from the US. He's not training in there at the moment. So let's see how it goes. Yeah, he got deported due to visa issues, apparently. He was going to be flying to which flight was it? It might have been the Wilder Fury flight he was going to fly to, and there was some sort of visa issue at the airport, and he got deported back to Bulgaria. So
I wonder if we're allowed in the UK.
What was that? Sorry.
I wonder if it would be alright to come to the UK.
Yeah, well, I imagine it was something to do with possibly a working visa had expired or something like that, or he was on a visitor's visa, and if he was going to the fight to possibly do some kind of commentary or something at the fight, that's working and you're not allowed to do that on a visitor's visa. I don't know. There was no details about why he got deported or what the issues was with his visa, but he's definitely got deported. So hopefully he'd better be okay to get into the UK, otherwise the fight's off, isn't it?
Yep. I wouldn't be shocked if the fight's over anyway, to be honest, with the way this corona shit's hitting the UK. Now we've got panic buying and stuff. Supermarkets are running out of fucking toilet roll and pasta and everything just because people panic buying. So, like, the next couple of months.
We've got it down here as well, man. Shit's going crazy everywhere.
People buying 600 toilet rolls.
Well, apparently there's people scared of toilet rolls as well because the cardboard in the centre is made in China.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw a meme the other day of a guy ripping off 2 squares of toilet paper, folding it in half, wrapping it up in tin foil and selling it on the street like fucking pot.
I seen somebody with a set of scales. A guy had a set of scales and he had 2 bits of toilet roll on it.
Okay.
It was weird.
We've got Unrivaled Boxing Talk and news in the house as well. How are you today, brother? You there, Unrivaled? Oh, he's muted. He's busy.
No, I'm here.
How are you today, brother?
How's it going, John? I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. How's it going, bro? How's it going, AA? How's it going, lads?
All good.
All good, bro. Yeah, so is there something you'd like to kick off with? Give your opinion on about the weekend's boxing? What was your favourite fight?
Shout out to the Nordic Nightmare, man. Robert Hellenius. Upset of the year. First of all, let's actually say something on Robert's behalf. He's always been talented, right? But through injuries and not taking training too seriously, he more or less ruined his career. At one point, he was hyped up to be a next Vitaly Klitschko. Now, whether he could have achieved that, we don't know. But in that fight, we do know one thing. Robert can bang when he lets his hands go. It's just about letting his hands go. And Kovnatski, he came in slow, ponderous. He just wasn't on it, and he got his head taken off, man. That was funny. I think he was having flashbacks to the last time he was in the ring, and he was screaming, "I'm gonna be a daddy," and then he was getting daddied all over, you know. So the Nordic Nightmare, like, it's actually a beautiful moment because if I'm not mistaken, that was an eliminator, wasn't it? And the winner of that fight is meant to fight Charles Martin for a final eliminator, and the winner gets the IBF mandatory after Pulev.
Oh, that's right.
So we're in a position where Charles Martin could fight a mandatory again, or Robert Hellenius could fight for a world heavyweight championship.
Wow. Nobody would have thought this a year and a half ago. No way.
So we're in a position where we see Robert Hellenius and Robert Hellenius and Charles Martin. And I'm telling you right now, Charles Martin's starting to deliver on his promise of circumcising the heavyweight division with his lightsaber. I'm telling you now, man, if he goes in there and beats Hellenius, we could have Martin Joshua too.
Well, we could.
That'd be beautiful. Or we could have Hellenius Joshua.
Yeah, I forgot that Washington and Martin fight was also an eliminator, so it makes sense that the winner of both of those is the final eliminator for the mandatory. So that's interesting for sure. I'd definitely be picking Martin in the fight, but similar to the Kovnatski fight, Hellenius is dangerous with his power in those first 6. So Martin better be careful. I think Kalnacki thinking this guy got knocked out by Washington, who I stopped in 2 rounds, is going to be a walk in the park, and he paid the price for his assumptions.
So it was beautiful. It was a beautiful moment. Now, I did watch some of the other heavyweights in the card, and so I watched Frank Sanchez, right? He's meant to be 25, 26, 27 years of age, right?
Sorry, you cut out there for
Oh,
a sec. What was
am I still cut out, or can you hear me?
it? Nah, I can hear you good now.
Right. So I was watching Frank Sanchez versus Joey DeWaco, and he's meant to be 25, 26, or 27, right? How old is he meant to be?
27, I think.
27.
Okay, 27. Yeah, he's got a Cuban passport for sure. That dude's at least 40. I'm sorry, he ain't not 27-year-old. But what I did see is that he's very bad defensively. His jab is okay, but he's just not that good. If I'm
His
being
dancing is beautiful, though, innit? His dancing is beautiful.
Hey, man.
Come
on, man.
His dancing was great. Do you know, it's the pure Cuban style. Like when you're repositioning your feet, you have to do that dance.
Yeah, it is really good, but at the same point, with the second he steps up, he loses. But I'll tell you now, I think him and Efe Ajagba is a really good fight because Efe is just not as good as people believe him to be.
Yeah, I think a lot of the shine's gone off him in the last 2 or 3 fights. But that's a good shout. Frank Sanchez and Efe Ajagba is a good fight. And I think it's a good fight for both guys on the way up. Let's get it. Let's get it. And have you managed to catch the Alfonso fight yet?
I haven't seen the Alfonso fight. I only got those 3 fights. And by the way, I just want to say this. Props out to my boy Joey DeWaco. The fat and fluffy boy. He makes everybody have a hard night, doesn't he? He's got a hell of a chin and he knows how to handle himself. So shout outs to my boy Joey DeWaco.
Yeah, top effort. Even though he got shut out, but that's due to his size. You know, it's going to be the same thing with anybody who's pretty much 6'2" plus. If they use their range against a 5'10" fighter, they should win easily. You can see Joey trying to, you know, come on, you pussy, come and fight. Trying to get him to come in and suck him into a brawl where he could have won, but Frank Sanchez too smart for that. That's what it is. Frank Sanchez moves on to 15-0. And you must have seen the Hughie Fury Pavel Sauer fight as well. Surely.
Yeah, I did a post fight on that. Yeah. Pavel Sauer was landing big shots on him at the start, wasn't he?
He was.
Yeah, he came in like I'm trying to. He just came in like a big mong, didn't he? With no real technique, just started swinging hooks and furry hands and whatever else he could throw. Like his lead hand position, not even his lead hand, his backhand position is really weird. He has it kind of up like he's doing mitts with you, and then like he start. I don't even know, but Hughie did okay. He was wearing him down over the fight. You could see Hughie was hurting him more than he was being hurt. And yeah, he just came out in that last round and just starched him. He dropped him in the second, and then in the last round he just started to starch him with those overhand rights. So, but Hughie should be stopping guys like Pavel Sauer. He should be. Pavel Sauer's just not that good. We don't know what Hughie's level is. I'd like to see him be in there with. I really want to see him fight David Price.
Yeah, me too.
Because I think David Price gives him a hell of a nightmare. Just because I think he can box with Hughie.
Yeah, definitely. And let's face it, Hughie hasn't got huge power, so it's not going to crack the jaw of David Price in a hurry. However, it may happen depending on how Hughie fights. It was good to see him throwing a few more right hands and sitting down on his punches a bit more, but when he steps up to a higher level, I'm doubtful whether he's still going to have that aggression when he's got bigger punches coming back at him.
Well, I'm just thinking if that's David Price throwing the punches Pavel Sauer was landing on him, that could be a bad night in the office. And if not David Price, why not give him Sergey Kuzmin?
I think he'd dance rings around Kuzmin, to be honest. I think Kuzmin's a bit
He might do. He might dance rings around them, but at the same point, Jono, he's the type of guy who at this stage, like if they're gonna keep feeding him to the wolves, he's not learning anything really. He should be in there where he can actually hone his craft more. A guy like Kuzmin's gonna give him the full 12.
Yeah.
He's too small. he'll just play the jab against Kuzma. If he goes in there against Price, Price is a decent height. He'll not be able to keep Price off with the jab.
Well, what about Marius
Yeah.
Vac? Because Huey won't be able to keep him off. Because Marius Vac, he can dance around Vac, but he won't be able to keep him off him because Vac's just too fucking big and too good of a chin.
Too durable, yeah. He just walks through a pepper jab. That's a decent shot. It might be a bit slow though nowadays. Mind you, he did give a good account of himself against White in his last fight, didn't he? So
Well, White was on 10 days' notice.
yeah, there was that too. But there's even the likes of like an Edget Caviel, possibly for Huey Fury. But cross promotion again. What's with Top Rank? I don't know if it'll work.
Give him Bacoli. Bacoli.
Colin. Yeah. That's a decent shout too. Neither of them have really got a ranking, so a win over from either guy will get them into the rankings. Who's Bacoli? Is he Matchroom now? He is, isn't he?
He is with Matchroom, yeah. I mean, we've been hearing rumors of Bacoli Hrgovic, but that fight ain't gonna happen. So yeah, why not? Like, I'd personally like to see Bacoli fight against Petr Milas.
That works. That works.
And the reason why I'd like to see it is if Petr Milas can beat Bacoli, they can do an all Croatian showdown with him and Hrgovic. But if Bacoli beats him, they can have a revenge match for the fallen Croat.
Yeah. Good shout.
I like that.
So,
We have Mala in here, by the way.
Oh, you're in here, Marla?
Yep, that's man.
How you doing, man?
Few issues with the computer this morning. I had to reboot it and try and get it going. I don't know what it was doing, but I'm here.
I feel you, bro. I feel you. I get it all the time. Alright, better get your opinion on some of the heavyweights dust-ups before we move on, Marla. You want to start with Ajagba Kajanu. What do you think of that one?
Yeah, I thought Ajagba, he needs to be more aggressive, more assertive in there. He needs to look to come in and be the boss. He's too passive. He doesn't put enough bad intentions on his jab. He doesn't throw combinations off his jab enough. He just throws 1-2s. And I think Ronnie Shields can see it too. You can see how frustrated he was getting. But Ajagba just doesn't seem to be listening and applying it. So I was really disappointed in his performance. Yeah.
Yep. He did, however, get the KO and he moves on. But we were just thinking, just before you jumped on, maybe Frank Sanchez and Efer Ajagba should fight.
Yeah, that'd be a good one. That'd be a good fight. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a good test.
Okay, moving on to... Oh, sorry, you wanted some more on that one?
Just needs to be the boss in there. He needs to look to come. Like if I was as big as him, if I had his physicality, I'd be looking to come in and just dominate guys. I'd be. You know what I mean? And he just doesn't seem to have that mentality. He's got the same flaw as Joseph Parker in a way.
He seems to plod at one pace all the time too. Doesn't really.
Yeah, man. Yeah, he doesn't explode with a combination, going from a slow pace to a fast pace. Yeah. Disappointing that one.
Certainly got some growing to do, does Efer Ajagba. So moving on to what was the other one on that card that was televised? Sanchez and Dueco.
Yeah, I thought Dueco looked like a sparring partner. He had that mentality. I don't know if he was fit enough. Maybe he couldn't have upped the tempo and thrown more punches. But he just got pieced up. I didn't give him a round.
Yeah, clean sweep. It's pretty hard for a guy that chubby to work on good footwork, I suppose, carrying that much weight around. So
yeah, and I don't think he could. Yeah, he couldn't afford to really put the foot on the pedal and go too hard in case he gassed. So yeah. But Sanchez looked interesting, Sanchez looked interesting. Yeah, I'd like to see him against some other guys and to see how he goes. Yeah.
In the main event for that one, the Kalnacki getting knocked out. What do you think of that one?
God, man, I don't know where Kalnacki goes. I mean, what would you imagine? What AJ would do to him, what Wilder would do to him. There's just so many. He just looks so open. It's just, yeah, I don't know where he goes, to be honest. He looked pretty bad.
Yeah. Well, that using offense as defense is only going to work for so long.
Yeah, you come up against a skilled fighter, they're going to avoid your shots and counter, and
or even someone who's not that skilled but has a big punch, catch you on the way in like it happened.
First punch got him. It wasn't a slip, eh?
That's right, and that was the one that did the damage. He was fucked
the
up
next
for
one.
that.
Yeah, he was. The next one just finished him. So no, I hate to say people say, oh, he was exposed, but I think he was exposed. He looked terrible.
And one other one, did you catch the Huey Fury Pavel Sauer fight?
Did, yeah. I missed the first round, but got the other two, and I just woke up and turned on the TV and it was on. But I don't know what to take from it. It was a fight he was always going to win. He looks bigger than before. So yeah, just interesting just to see where he goes. Basically, just keep an eye on him and he's a big guy. He's got a big frame and he's got a long reach. If he could, fully utilize what he has, you might be able to get some meaningful fights. I don't think he's ever going to rule the heavyweight division, but he could get some meaningful fights and make some decent money.
Yep. Do you like the idea of David Price, Huey Fury?
Do. Yeah, that'd be a good one. Yep.
Okay, and Unrivaled
was the other one.
Sorry?
Did you see that fight with that? Is it Quigg? He was the favourite, I think, but I caught part of it. He was the favourite, but he it was in the lighter weight classes. He was the fave, but he looked awful.
I didn't catch that one.
Quigg looked terrible. John O'Carroll looked very good.
Yeah, I saw that one. So that was that. So that was the weekend, I think.
Oh, pretty much. There's one more that Double A's given an opinion on already, but Unrivaled, have you seen the Dempsey McKean versus Jonathan Rice fight yet?
I thought Jonathan Rice was winning that fight, man. Then at the what was it, 2 seconds left? That was mad.
Yeah. 2 seconds left.
It was. Can I be honest? Can I just be honest? Dempsey McKean's a bum. I was gonna keep it straight in 100. Yeah, put him in with Hemi Ahito. He gets started in 3.
I'm down for that fight, man. I'm really down for that fight. I bet you Dempsey isn't, though.
No way, man. And you know what? I'll be perfectly honest with you. I think shot fatty Lucas Brown beats him too.
Oh, really?
He can't box, man. He cannot box, dude. And he doesn't hit that hard.
It's heavy.
Shondell Winters beats him, bro. Shondell Winters beats Dempsey McKean.
Oh!
He's not good, man. That was my first time watching him. Maybe it was because the feed I have of it isn't that great. If anyone could direct me to a better feed, I'd highly appreciate it. But
I've got it on the Discord fight replays if you want to watch it.
Okay, thank you. I'll go on. He's slow. He's very slow. His combinations, he's clumsy. He has fuck all balance. Like I'll tell you right now, Dominic Gwynn would probably beat him. Really, true. I don't think this dude's anywhere near the top 100 in the world. I really don't. I think Tom Schwartz beats him. I think Senagashi beats him. I really don't like him. If you're big on him, I'm sorry. I apologize. That's a bad heavyweight. That's just a big guy with a southpaw stance. But man, he was losing. He lost. I could have scored that 7-3 if I had gone to the final round.
Where's my score sheet? I've got it here somewhere.
And
I had Rice winning by 2 rounds.
So you had a 5-3, 5-4,
5-4. 5-4.
Yeah.
And then he was winning the last round as well up until the end. Well, about 20 seconds before the end too. So
I I had it 6-3, and if he had got through that round, it would have been 7-3. You know. So. Yeah.
Have you seen it yet, Marla?
What was that?
Have you seen the Dempsey McKean fight yet?
No, I haven't seen that yet. I mean, a lot of people have been talking about it.
Okay.
Yeah, I have to check it. Is it on? They got it uploaded on YouTube. Do you know? Is it up
No,
yet?
I've got it uploaded on the Discord fight replays though, so you can go watch it.
Excellent. I'll check. Yep, I'll have a look.
Yeah, I was unpleasantly disappointed with Dempsey McKean myself as well. I knew he was pretty green. I've seen a few clips of him. I've never seen him watch the whole fight, but he got found out for me. You know, he can't fight on the inside. He throws 2-punch combinations or 3 at best, and then he doesn't know what to do. He's got legs where he can bounce on his feet all night, but he doesn't move well. He doesn't put out enough punches. Maybe he's got an okay chin because he got quite a few good shots landed on him by Jonathan Rice. And I was always skeptical if Rice was going to find out this guy. And for me, he's found his level. And he's basically, for me, around top 100 if he's lucky. But he's got a couple of regional belts now, so he's going to have to fight someone decent next. Fight Himia, or even Junior Farr might even beat him, I think. So
They both beat the crap out of him. He's gar-
and by the way,
I'm not gonna pull any punches, man. I'm not gonna pull any punches. He's not good. Hey, what do you think of him?
I watched the fight back. Like, he disappointed me. The guys, the column, what is it call him? The something tower. He's 2 meters tall. He's a southpaw. He's got it all. That's what I was. I'm watching the guy and I'm thinking, fucking hell. He looks as if, I mean, he's not even clumsy. He just looks scared to actually throw the shots.
Bro,
It looks like he's
clumsy
got
too.
him.
The way he sets his feet, his feet look bent. Like, it looks like he's got club feet when he stands down to get shots. It's so sad.
But he'll fight. He'll continue to fight people. Continue. That's all. They're not going to throw him in with anybody. But McGregor, he's got the only IBF ranking belt. Really, the IBF only have one ranking belt, and he's just won it. So he's going to find himself ranked. He'll be top 15, but he'll be fighting top 100 fighters for the next 2 years. That's what he'll do. He'll be fighting all sorts of shit.
unless the WBO order him to fight somebody meaningful. But
No, that's not gonna happen, mate. Look,
They don't order
I'll tell
fights
you what
unless
this
it's
dude.
a-
I'll tell you what's gonna happen to this dude. He's gonna be fed to Daniel Dubois.
what did you say? IBF was the what belt he picked that one up. That's right. I'm just looking to see who he might end up fighting.
He's gonna be fed to Dubois in the WBO ranking.
Did he? Oh, he had a WBO ranking, didn't he?
He's a Pacific
number
belt in it, didn't he?
14 he had with the WBO prior, but he'll have an IBF ranking now. And
Oh, I wouldn't be
he's
shocked
gonna
to
be-
see him fight Parker and if his own end up gone down under. The fight will say that his own down under.
Yeah, he could fight Tom Schwartz, Zhili Zhang, Otto Wallen. Who else is here? No, Charles Martin will be busy. Maybe he could fight Kovnarski or Washington even, but doesn't matter. Any of those names are going to beat him down and stop him, in my opinion.
There's no way. There's no way he's going to fight any meaningful fights. He's going to keep fighting in Australia. Like, he's going to be fighting on Epic Centre online, isn't he? They're going to get at least 5 more fights before he even fights anybody with a pulse.
It looks. Well, I imagine his team's undies are full of turd after that fight. They were very lucky to get out of that. So I think you're probably right. He's going to be fighting Binman and McDonald's workers for the next couple of years to make a little bit of coin. And
Go and look for a Hungarian heavyweight or a Slovakian heavyweight. A Latvian who's ranked number 3 in Latvia. That'll be his next opponent.
maybe he'll fight Morris Brutus.
Give him, you get chinned. You get chinned by Freitas, bro. Bro, Fraser Kendall beats him.
Oh, how can he beat him when he's walking on a Zimmer frame? Fucking old cunt.
Because I'm sorry, Zimmer frame or not. Do you see how slow that mofo is?
Yeah.
I seen Fraser Quendel. I actually seen Fraser Quendel speaking no long ago, and he's in the gym, and what he was doing was decorating a gym. He was training. He was decorating a gym.
He's a one-arm paper hanger.
He was painting a gym.
Oh my god. Oh, he's still got a ranking. He's still 15 with the WBO.
They can't take him off that. They cannot remove him for that until he gets some sort of shot. And they can't order him to fight. Surely, they must be able to do something. Maybe they're just letting that contract run out.
I don't think it's a contract. He's legally bound to get a shot at the WBA regular title. So maybe the WBA will try and order him to fight the winner of Char versus Bryan once that's finished. Like, so
But
they can finally be rid of him.
They really wanted that. They would have ordered him to fight against Char and CD. Do you know what I mean?
They already ordered him to fight. Ordered him to fight Ustinov, didn't they? And then he got injured. They ordered him to fight Shannon Briggs, but Briggs got popped for steroids. And then they haven't done anything with him since. But he hasn't fought since he lost to Razvan Chigayev. When was that? 2013 or something? That up.
You know what, man? I think I'm not Dempsey McCain's level.
Do tell.
Think of it. Yeah, I think he's a pretty much a 6'7" southpaw. 2013 Audley Harrison.
2013 Audley Harrison might even beat him.
Am I going a bit fair, John, or do you think that I'm being fair?
No, I think you're probably pretty close. Maybe a tiny bit harsh, but pretty close. So,
he's bad. He's bad.
Yeah,
There's been a lot of hype on this guy. Like, for how the hell did he even get hype?
I don't know. I had someone telling me the other day, a couple of years ago, he was sparring Alex Leopai and he put him down several times in sparring. It's like, okay, did Leopai just stand there and go, come on, let's see how hard you hit me? Because I can't see any other way that he'd knock down Alex Leopai. I mean, sorry, Kendo hasn't fought since the 6th of June 2014 is the confirmation. Dempsey McKean is caca. He ain't coming out of Australia fighting anybody. And if he does, he's gonna be stopped, and that'll be the last we hear of him. All right. So
Apparently next week.
Away there, Mullen.
Apparently next week they're announcing Usyk Chisora confirmed for May 23rd.
Yes, I heard about that on the final bell. Eddie Hearn was on before the bell. Sorry, the Matchroom show where they preview the fights that are happening on the night. And he said that he's confirming Usyk Chisora this week. So
Fight.
23rd of May. Okay.
Boxing schedule is pretty sexy, if I do say so myself.
Next couple of months is pretty good, isn't it?
If you watch every division, mate, it's madness. It's just madness. I mean, let's just put it into perspective. Like, even down to the worst fights like Jamal James and Thomas Delorme, that's cracking. You've got Ubali versus Daenerys on the same card as Abdul Kakarov and Lipinets, you know? Top 15 guys fighting each other. You've Dillian White Pavek, you've Chisora versus Usyk. You've got you've Daniel Dubois, Joe Joyce. You've Canelo versus Saunders. I mean, what's going on here, man? Like, you've Josh Taylor and a mandatory. You've got Hooker Prograis. You've got Luke Campbell Fortuna. I mean, you've Inoue Casemiro. Like, just if you take a look at Lomachenko's last post on his Instagram, he says, "See you May 30th." So it looks like May 30th will be Lomachenko versus Teofimo Lopez. So if that's the case, just bend down, touch your toes, and thank the boxing gods.
Yeah, man.
Indeed.
More news on Parker, Jono, with Junior Farr? Is it close to confirmed?
I haven't seen
or?
any more as yet, but I imagine we'll get some more news on that come out in the next few days. If that fight doesn't work out, then it seems like Parker will probably go to the UK and fight Hunter on one of the cards that are coming up after May, or maybe
Fights
even in
Hunter.
May. Yeah, so it's one or the other at the moment at this stage. But I have a question for Unrivaled here. Who is this Aaron Alameda that Lewis Neri's going to be fighting? He's 25-0.
Yeah. So he's not really that good, mate.
Okay.
Can I just
Had
put
it
it like
as.
that? He's just one of these guys. I mean, Neri, he's stepping up to 122, from what I can understand. Alameda, he's a super bantamweight. He's a southpaw. Like you say, he's got a 25-0 record. Never fought outside of Mexico a day in his life. Wait, no, I think he fought once outside of Mexico. His best opponent, if I'm being like, and I'm grasping at straws, really, is probably I don't even know, man. It's probably Juan Jimenez.
Okay.
And that's a fighter that's a journeyman. I don't know who else is really on his resume, but they're not that good. He's a nothing fighter. Neri should knock him the hell out.
Yeah. I'm looking at this resume and I can't see any names I recognize on here whatsoever.
I'll pull up his resume now myself. So
And I can't see any fights except for the one coming up outside of Mexico as well.
yeah. So, no, he did fight once.
Oh, there's
Los
one.
Angeles against Andre Wilson.
Yep. I just found that one. Yep.
A club knockout. Oh my god. Not even club I found. Club knockout. Like,
Back in 2016.
okay, so his best win is probably Enrique Benesh. That's a guy who I'm slightly aware of because he fought Jean Zhu.
So this will be a walk in the park. Okay, that's all right then. I
Yeah.
just wanted to get that.
He also fought Jason Maloney as well, Enrique Benesh. So that's this guy's best win.
No, I was just checking him out because I noticed he was on a card where Abdi Datayev is fighting Lucas Brown on that card. So, do you think Datayev is going to beat Brown as well?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He hits too hard, man. He hits like Lucas won't take that power. And Datayev's all-out war. He's like Kudryashov, isn't he?
Pretty much,
He's
yeah.
He's just an all-out war fighter. He's going for the gusto. He's just trying to take your head clean.
He had a draw in his resume to.
That was earlier in his career.
Yeah, way earlier in his career.
Yeah, and that shouldn't have been a draw.
How do you say? Venetia, maybe.
Anti Veronica
Okay.
or Vernica, I think. Yeah, and that shouldn't have been a draw. If I'm being honest with you,
It's a split decision.
it was a split decision, but no, I remember seeing that shouldn't have been a draw. From what I remember, Davtiev was beating him up, and I felt he was robbed myself.
I wonder why.
Don't know.
Because surely two of the or at least maybe the referee was the judge.
No, there was 3 judges. But yeah, no, I had him winning 4 rounds to 2. But it is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, they got no scores up, so we can't. Oh, yeah, we do. 59 to 56, 57 to 57, and 55 to 59. One judge had the other guy winning all but one round. What a joke. And how does that happen? One judge says one guy won all but one round, and then the other judge says the other guy won all but one round.
Robbery is how it happens.
Interesting. All right, so got that all clear.
I remember scoring a 4-2, John.
Okay. Well, it was somewhat competitive. The other guy was fighting, at least by the sounds of it. I don't remember seeing that one. Cool. We'll move on. All right. So, subjects anybody would like to bring up is now's the time. So, anybody got anything they would like to bring up?
Tragically, the Deontay Wilder Fury glove issue. And I just wanted to get some clarification on something. You know the photos where Fury has the loose glove, and they're saying that his hand was down near the lace part of the glove. Was that for a photo from the first fight or the second fight?
First
fight, and it was the left hand, eh?
Yes.
It was his left hand. Yeah. Okay, so for all the excuses people are coming up with, that doesn't explain the right hand that put Wilder on the floor and basically finished the fight.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, right, that's great.
Excuses, though.
And I was listening to a few guys, and they were trying to say, like, the Mayweather gym proved it's bullshit, and there's all these top fighters are just saying it's a joke wearing the glove like that. It's not going to help you. But all these LDBC fanboys are trying to make out that basically the Mayweather gym and all these professional fighters basically don't know anything, and they do. It's farcical. Yep, go Mark.
I respect you a lot. I genuinely do. I love listening to you. And you're right, it is absolutely farcical. But I understand it. And will I tell you why I understand it? Because you know, and John knows, all Wilder has is a puncher's chance in the rematch. And let me tell you something about these guys. They put all their eggs in one basket for pretty much the last 3 years. You've seen it, Jono's seen it, I've seen it. We've all seen it. That's all they've been doing. Wilder, you know? And they're pretty much cashing out. Just like Finkel is cashing out on them. Just like Al is cashing out on them. They're going to make every video in the world, get their super chats, get all the money they can, because as soon as he loses in that rematch, Mala, the well is gone. The money's gone. There's no water. You can't go fetch your cash. You can't go get what you need, and that's the end of it. It's all over. It's game over. They took a glorified cherry pick. It went wrong. Dude got up, beat him in that 12th round, had him out. Fury had him gone from that 12th round onwards, and that's it. He's living rent-free. All of Wilder's excuses are that of a broken man. And that's just that.
Assessment. That's a good assessment, man. It's true.
They'll move on to Errol Spence and Charlo next.
Yeah. Yep.
Wait, Wilder they will move on to everything will be about Jamal Charlo and Errol Spence next.
Yeah, but the thing is, there's not as much money in it. You see, the thing is, there's not a fighter in those divisions that they can really build a big, massive money fight off of. Even with Pacquiao's popularity has dropped. It's just not the same as it used to be. It's nowhere near. And what that essentially means is, it doesn't matter. They'll go off onto all of these other things. They'll go off on Spence. They'll do the whole Spence thing, or they'll do the Gervonta Davis thing. But at the end of the day, there is no Joshua out there in those divisions with that type of name value, that money value, everything like that. Sure, you've got Canelo, but the Canelo fans are more toxic than they are. They're unreal. They're amazing. Fantastic. They'll rip them to shreds. So it's not going to be like that, you know. So
the Americans they don't have another heavyweight that they can put up on the pedestal. You know, they just don't. It's a very good assessment, Mark.
Until Charles Martin beats Robert Helenius in a final eliminator, and we get Charles Martin versus Joshua too. And what Charles Martin does is he rids the heavyweight division, circumcises it with his lightsaber, mate. I'm looking forward to the day. I can't wait till he fights Fury for undisputed and knocks his ass clean out in one round.
all of a sudden there'll be a lot more boxing Jedis around than the just one that we've got right now. But yeah, it's sad that the fans are going to this extent. A guy loses, it's fine to back your man. That's no problem with it. But making excuses for them, and such ridiculous ones, it's making a whole lot of them look like clowns. So
yeah, I was sitting there yesterday, man, and I was going through the excuses, and you had the suit that got debunked. Then you had they got to Mark Breland and convinced him to throw the towel in the opposition team. Then it was the gloves, and it's just like, oh my God, mate. Like, when you're a fight fan, sometimes your guy loses. I thought about myself. I've been watching the boxing for decades, and it's like I had to watch Larry Holmes lose. Holyfield, Tyson, Tua, Joseph Parker. You see your guy lose sometimes, and it sucks, man. But you got to wear it, It's just, you just have to. But as Mark was saying, they've invested so much in Wilder. Yeah, they've invested everything into him beyond boxing. It's insane, and it's just all backfired on them, and they just don't know. Yeah, they know it's coming to an end. That's so true what Mark said.
It's almost inevitable from where I'm sitting, man. Wilder's going to earn less. He's going to get stopped again because he can't adjust. Unless he stretches it out, like Double A and I were talking about not having the fight in July. Apparently, it's not a immediate rematch. It can be taken and fought within 12 months. This is the clause that Shelley Finkel usually puts in. So we're assuming it's the same. Maybe Deontay Wilder could learn something new in 12 months if he stretched it out. Maybe he could make it more competitive. I'm hoping so, because I don't want to see a non-competitive fight again. They suck.
Oh, they do. I went into that fight expecting, I knew Fury might win, but I was expecting, some competitiveness, and I ended up not giving him a round, Wilder. I was shocked by that. I really didn't think it was going to go that way. But if he gets another trainer and he's got to listen to them, that's the thing, eh?
I think taking Joe Goosen on's not a bad idea.
Think so,
fresh eyes, and he's been in camp before with Deontay, so he knows Deontay. Why not work with a new, fresh perspective and change your game up? Because that's what you need to do, Deontay. All right. Is there any other subjects anybody would like to touch on before we start wrapping it up?
Yeah.
We're all done. All good. All right. Well, thanks for dropping in, fellas. It's been a pleasure as usual. I'll probably do another stream before the end of the week to touch on the fights coming up next weekend. I haven't even looked at the schedule yet myself, but we will get to it. Thanks to everybody in the chat also for turning up. Much appreciated as usual. Wouldn't be the same without you, but next time, don't be afraid to hit that link and come on and have your say with everybody. So that's it from us today, and we will catch you next time.
Hit the like and subscribe, guys. Hit the like and subscribe. Show the man love.
Indeed. And if you haven't already, make sure you get over to Double A Boxing and Blunts, Unrivaled Boxing Talk and News. Check out their content, subscribe, and we'll catch you next time. We're out. See you. So that's it for today. Appreciate y'all coming and checking out the Big Boys Boxing content. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Also, if you want to get more involved, you can go to the Big Boys Boxing channel page, and over here on the top right there's this Discord icon here. If you click on that, it will take you to the Big Boys Boxing Discord server. This is it here, and these are the text channels here. The info is all about the channel and how to get involved. General chat, we all just talk about boxing, any subject, everybody's welcome. Live fight links, I drop links here that will take you to live fight events. I generally drop the link here 24 hours before the fight, so
if you don't have a broadcast, you can come here and find a way to watch it. Also, fights that I do record, I will be posting here. I've got a couple here already, as you can see. And down here, the voice channels, live panel. If you'd like to get involved with the live YouTube streams, the panel is on here. Once you get here, you just click on live panel, and as you can see, you're in. If you'd like to mute at any point, there's a little mic icon here. Click on that and you are muted. And if you'd like to leave the call, this is your hang up button. Simple as. And down here, this is anytime chat. It's another voice channel. You can get on here and talk with anybody who's in there about whatever you want to talk about. It's free for all. So get involved. I'm Jono from Big Boys Boxing, and I will catch you